Welcome to Protecting Your Personal PC by Ernesto de la Maza. There are lots of threats out there in cyberspace, so how do we protect ourselves? One big threat to cyberspace is malware. Oh, the most common type of threat to cyberspace is malware. A lot of people associate malware with viruses and think they're the same thing, but that's actually the difference. A virus is malicious code that injects itself into other software. It alters computer functionality and can comprise system files. This is a lot like a worm. But a worm is a type of virus that replicates itself through a network. It doesn't require any user input, and it doesn't attach to files. One of the most notorious type of worms was MyDoom, and it caused over $38 billion worth of damage. How it did this was spread itself through mass emailing. What it would do is go to the infected user and send it to the top 50 people on his email list. So once the infected user sent it, other people would get infected and replicate the worm. Another type of virus are Trojans. Trojans disguise themselves as a trusted program, but they actually have malicious intent. A good example of this is CryptoLocker, which was it looked like it was a real, trusted, verified program, but once users clicked on it and downloaded it, it actually turned into ransomware. What is a ransomware, you might ask? Ransomware is malware that locks your computer until ransom is sent. This is usually done through the pseudo-anonymous payment of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is fairly new, and although not traceable, it is the hacker's preferred method of getting payments sent to them using ransomware. Another type of malware is adware. Although it's not as dangerous as other type of malware, it's still a huge invasion of privacy and it could be incredibly annoying because you get a bunch of ads on your home PC and you got to exit out of it, and if it doesn't work, it just replicates itself until it just fills your screen with ads. This is a type of spyware. Spyware monitors usage and can capture things like password, internet usage, and other forms of personal information. Famous spyware is keyloggers. Keyloggers can capture every key type you make, and with that, they can steal personal information like user logins, website traffic, and other information you keep stored on your PC. Rootkits are also another type of dangerous malware. They're incredibly stealthy and they're super hard to find. If you do manage to find one, you can't usually remove it until the entire operating system is gone. What this does, how it does that, is by attaching itself to the boot drive or the boot sector of the hard drive. So it's very hard to find, and if you do find it, you're gonna have to reset your OS. Ways to defend against malware is a good anti-malware system. Windows already has Windows Defender installed, so you could use that. Most viruses have either a .bat.exe or .doc extension, and if they double it, like .text.dxe, you can ensure that it's a virus since they're trying to be stealthy. Finally, since lots of viruses come through emails, it's good to set up an anti-spam filter. It is also good to set up an anti-spam filter for phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are the second most common type of cyber attacks, and this is when a cyber criminal pretends to be a reputable company in order to get user information. As you can see in this picture below, somebody pretended to be a worker at myuniversity.edu when this link actually redirected to a false website where the attacker would steal his information. Oh, what are some ways to prevent phishing attacks, though? User awareness is key to ever preventing this because they usually prey on people who aren't tech savvy and could be easy targets and could give banking information without any thought about it. Also, you could also hover over the URL to check to see if it actually directs you to the actual link. Because a lot of the time they have it disguised as a trustworthy link, but it sends you to the user's phishing page. Or you could just type it in the URL yourself, so you don't have to mess with the link anyways. Finally, an anti-spam filter is the best option for this since it'll filter out most of the malicious emails. Network attacks are an incredibly dangerous and damaging attack that is done to multiple either servers or personal people's PCs. Common attacks are DDoS, DOS attacks, man-in-the-middle attacks, password attacks, and eavesdrops attacks. A DOS/DDoS attacks is when a user floods a server with TCP or UDP packets. This could be incredibly annoying, and for someone like me who games, this happens a lot. People get mad, they steal your IP, and they try to boot you offline. The best way to prevent against this though is to use a VPN. VPNs hide your IPs, so it never allows the attacker to get it in the first place. So if they sent an attack, they would be sending it to the wrong IP. You could also use strong firewall filters in order to set what type of network traffic is allowed and what network traffic isn't. If you manage multiple systems, you can use an IDS or intrusion detection system to monitor network traffic and see if anything's going wrong. Man-in-the-middle attacks are also a huge form of attacks that hackers commit. It's when a hacker inserts himself into a session between a server and a trusted client. Uh, as you can see, it's basically them going in the middle of the trusted client and a net or a server talking to each other and stealing the information from there. It's best to use a VPN to encrypt yourself and uh, have it harder for the hacker to actually understand what is being sent. Password attacks are done when a hacker does a brute force or dictionary attacks. The best way to prevent this is by using a lengthy and complex password with two-factor authentication enabled. Lengthy passwords are best because the longer it takes, the longer it will take for them to actually complete their brute force or dictionary attack. And with two-factor authentication enabled, if they do manage to crack your password, they still need to get either the code from your email or your phone. There's also eavesdrop attacks. This is when a hacker listens to a network traffic to steal data. Two types of eavesdrops attacks are passive and active. Passive attacks are when the hacker just reads the message he was intercepted, while active attacks is when the hacker disguises himself as a trusted unit. The best way to actually defend against this is by using a VPN to encrypt your messages. VPNs are always best for hiding IP and encrypting messages. To summarize, if you want to get through this, or if you want to stay safe, use anti-malware that's updated. Also, update your system because updates constantly fix patches that are made from vulnerabilities from the previous patch. So it's good to stay updated all the time. Use anti-spam filters to filter out malicious and annoying emails. You could be either the victim of attack or a malicious link sent to you, so it's good to use anti-spam filters. Use firewall and VPN as a crucial step to prevent against network attacks, especially if you're in public Wi-Fi. If you're in public Wi-Fi, it's basically like you're just letting the attacker come at you if you don't have a firewall or VPN set up, because they could just monitor your network traffic, steal whatever you're typing, and steal your information easier than ever before. Finally, the best way to protect your accounts are to use two-factor authentication with a lengthy and complex password in order to keep accounts safe. This is the best way to prevent users from actually entering your account and using it for malicious purposes. Because, like I said before, two-factor authentication, they'll still need to get your email address or your phone. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I hope this really helps with keeping your personal PC safe and keeping you safe from the dangers of cyberspace. Thank you very much.